So we're going to look at the proof of why the derivative of the sine of x is equal to the cosine of x using the definition of the derivative. So we're going to take the limit as h approaches 0 of sine of x plus h minus sine of x all over h. Next, we're going to use the sum formula for sine. The limit as h approaches 0 of sine of x times cosine of h plus cosine of x times sine of h, and then minus our sine of x all over h. Again, that's just expanding the sine sum formula. Think back to pre-calculus, the sine of alpha plus beta. We have ways that we can expand that. And now I'm going to expand it out and separate it just a little bit here. So the limit as h approaches 0 of sine of x cosine of h, I'm taking that first term, minus sine of x, I'm taking this last term as well, over h, plus the limit as h approaches 0 of cosine of x times sine of h over h. I just split it up that way because now when I look at this first limit, both of those terms have a sign in them, so we can split it up that way by factoring it out. Limit as h approaches 0 of sine of x times cosine of h minus 1 over h plus the limit as h approaches 0. And for this one, I'm going to take out the cosine of x times sine of h over h. So with each one of those, I'm factoring out the trig function that has x as its angle. On to the next step then. And I'm going to split these up even a little bit further now. The limit as h approaches 0 of the sine of x times the limit as h approaches 0 of cosine of h minus 1 over h plus, and then I'm going to split up the second one as well, the limit as h approaches 0 of the cosine of x times the limit as h approaches 0 of sine of h over h. Now here's where I actually start doing the evaluating. As h approaches 0, the limit of sine of x is just going to stay the sine of x. As h approaches 0, the limit of cosine of h minus 1 over h, this is one of the squeeze theorems, that's equal to 0, plus the next limit is simply going to be the cosine of x. And then our last one, as h approaches 0, the limit of sine of h over h, again with the squeeze theorem, is 1. So when we look at all this stuff combined together, it simplifies just down to the cosine of x.